Execution of Troy Davis. The convicted Georgia cop killer was put to death late last night after the Supreme Court turned down his final appeal. As CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman reports, the condemned man maintained his innocence to the very end.
He said to the people who are about to take my life, may God have mercy on your souls and may God bless your souls. And that was it.
Minutes after Troy Davis was executed, witnesses described his final words outside the Georgia State Prison, where a lethal injection ended his life, but not the controversy over his death. The death row inmate was convicted of the 1989 killing of Mark McPhail, an off-duty police officer shot dead trying to break up a brawl involving a homeless man. Davis maintained his innocence until his final breath. And over the years, supporters worldwide insisted doubt about his guilt should block his execution. 7 of the prosecution's original 9 witnesses recanted their testimony. No physical evidence ever linked Davis to the crime.
Are you getting up?
But various courts reviewed Davis's conviction over the years and upheld it. And the slain cop's family insisted Davis was guilty and deserved to die. Hundreds of protesters gathered outside the prison, and police, some wearing riot gear, and prison authorities geared up for confrontation as the original 7 o'clock execution deadline approached.
He killed a man, he killed a police officer. So that's what we're here for. See justice delayed, finally come to an end, and support McPhail's family.
Suspense built even more. The U.S. Supreme Court delayed the execution while considering whether to grant a stay. But just after 10 p.m., the court ruled unanimously not to block his execution. And just before 11 p.m., over howls of protest, Georgia executed the convicted cop killer. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
The state of Georgia committed a murder last Wednesday on September 21st, 2011, when they executed Mr. Troy Davis. Now, I thought here in America that a person could be convicted of a crime if proven to be guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Davis happened to be at the scene of a shooting in 1989 where a police officer, Mark McPhail, was shot and murdered. There was no hard evidence against Mr. Davis, i.e. a smoking gun, DNA, etc. He was convicted and sentenced to death solely based on the testimony of 9 witnesses who said that they saw him shoot and kill the police officer. Now, I can't understand why the state of Georgia would proceed with the execution, especially based on the fact that 7 out of the 9 witnesses recanted their testimonies and said that they actually had lied. They lied about seeing him shoot and kill the officer. I feel that justice failed. Justice really failed. Justice failed to politics. Justice failed to the fact that the state of Georgia did not want to look like they may have made a mistake with this one. Troy Davis had served 20 years in prison for probably a crime that he didn't commit. And there are people that have committed the crime of murder, gone to prison, and served less than 20 years. I believe that the system failed Mr. Troy Davis. The system truly failed him. And I have to question how many other people have our justice system failed. I pray that Troy Davis is in the divinity of God and that he rests in peace. We will keep the fight going.